For the learning competencies, kindly pause this recorded video presentation and read the learning competencies na lang. Okay, next. Okay, so what is environmental management? So environmental management is the management of the interaction and impact of human activities on the natural environment. So basically, environmental management, it refers to the practices, policies, and procedures put in place to protect and improve the natural environment. So in environmental management, we identify the factors that have a stake in the conflicts that may rise between meeting the needs but protecting the environment. So as humans, we have needs that are need to be met. We have needs that are requiring for their different resources. Ganyan. So in deep environmental management, we identify the factors uh, na possible na magkaroon ng problem when we are trying to meet those needs and requirements. So the goal of the environmental management is to ensure sustainable development by balancing the needs of the present with the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Kumbaga, ang goal nito is sustainability. No? Kung anong meron tayo ngayon, kailangan nating ma-conserve and ma-preserve para yung next generations natin ay meron pang gagamitin ng mga different resources. Okay, sustainable development. So, sustainable development, no, development that meets the basic needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So, if you're going to look back, actually, sustainable development or the core idea of sustainable development is already taught during your elementary and junior high school days, no? Dinidiscuss doon kung ano ba yung mga practices or ano ba yung mga kailangan nating gawin, with our natural resources. For example, kung paano natin siya ma-conserve and ma-preserve for the generations to come. So, hina-highlight natin dito kung paano tayo dapat gumamit ng mga different resources natin, specifically yung mga non-renewable resources natin, because those resources are mahirap kumbaga i-replenish ganyan, or matagal, nagte-take ng too much time for it to be replenished, so in sustainable development, pinopromote dito yung paghahanap ng ibang other ways, para ma-meet yung requirements or yung mga needs ng tao without compromising the resources of the future generation. So these are the sustainable development goals. We have 17. No poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education, etc. Climate action, that's the focus. And also life on land, yan, partnership. I-check nyo na lang siya. You can post the recorded presentation and you can see, and observe the sustainable developmental or sustainable development goals. Actually, when you are trying to do research, eto na yung trend when you are trying to do research. You anchor your research based on the sustainable development goals. If you are planning to do kasi pag grade 12, doon yung practical research nyo, and when you are trying, if you will be doing your research focus kayo dito, pili kayo dito kung anong gusto nyong i-target, when it comes to your research. Kasi, ibig sabihin, mas maganda yung research na gagawin nyo kapag naka-follow siya dito. Sustainable development. Okay, so number 1, renewability. So, sustainable communities use renewable resources for their needs. They make sure that the rate of extraction of renewable materials is not faster than the rate of replenishment or slower than the rate of recovery of materials. Okay? Next, substitution. So in substitution, we find or we shift into any alternative renewable resource. So naghahanap tayo ng alternative source of energy, for example. With that, para hindi natin makompromise yung mga natural resources natin. For example, of finding an alternative or substitute no, is yung using ng renewable resources natin or harnessing the power of solar energy or geothermal, ganyan, hydroelectric. No? So we properly plan and implement a transition for the shift to avoid reaching the stage when the non-renewable resources become prohibitively scarce. So ayun yung iniiwasan natin. Yung ma-reach natin yung stage wherein yung mga non-renewable resources natin is konti na lang yung quantity. No? So these are some of the examples of renewable resources, no, or harnessing the energy from the environment. So meron din wind energy, meron geothermal, may nuclear, no, may solar, hydrothermal, meron din, or hydroelectric, no. Next, interdependence. So in terms of interdependence, sustainable communities make sure that their consumption of resources do not deprive another community, nor do they make another community suffer from waste they generate. So under sustainable development, I think one of the issues here in interdependence is yung mga advanced countries, no, especially with their generated waste. Of course, kapag yung mga landfills nila is napuno na with their generated waste, naghahanap sila ng ibang country na pagtatapunan, and sometimes tinatapon nila yun sa oceans, no? Isa ito sa mga issue na experience ng Philippines, especially I'm not sure kung ano yung country na yon, pero may isang country na nagpapadala sila ng generated waste nila here in the Philippines. Siniship nila doon sa through barko, ganyan. Yung mga malalaking container na bitbit na mga truck na nakikita nyo sa daan, ganun kalalaking waste, no, yung siniship sa Philippines na nagkaroon ng issue. Next, adaptability. So sustainable communities are equipped and can adjust to the dynamic whims of the environment. So they recognize the changes in the environment, whether positive or not, are opportunities for growth and improvement for their community. So of course, sustainable communities should be adaptable, no? Kailangan nilang magkaroon adaptability so they can adjust kung ano yung nagbabago sa environment nila. For example, in terms of climate change, no? Na-experience naman natin yung climate change. Although yung change ng climate change natin ngayon is negatively impacting our environment, the community are still, or the community is offering different ways on how to combat this climate change or global warming. Next, we have institutional commitment. So sustainable communities abide by laws and policies, no, that are geared towards sustainability. They adopt sustainable production and consumption. So basically here in institutional commitment, ito yung mga different countries that are with partnership with each other, no? Wherein meron silang mga set of laws, policies, regulation na ganyan towards sustainability na sinusunod ng each country. No? So they adopt sustainable production and consumption. So adaptability, success, and partnership, kumbaga. So without the partnership of these countries kasi, hindi natin ma-achieve yung goal natin na sustainable development goals o yung mga policies or regulations na makakatulong positively doon sa kalagayan ng ating environment. Of Essentially, sustainable communities can manage their economy by engaging in a production process that do not harm the environment and people. So that is uh, sustainable development ibig sabihin niya. So they do not harm the environment or the people, pero namimit nila yung kanilang mga needs. No? That is the goal of sustainable development. Nagkaroon tayo ng mga sustainable communities. Yan. Example, St. Michael's Sustainable Community Tour. So, do not forget this acronym. No? You may use this mnemonics. No? Renewability, sustainability, interdependence, adaptability, institutional commitment. So, RSIAI. Next, we have sustainable mining operations. So, previously, we already discussed the impacts, no? The advantages and disadvantages of different mining techniques, no? And different mining operations. So here, in sustainable development under environmental management, we will be discussing the sustainable mining operations. Paano ba natin malesen yung mga issues, problems when it comes to different mining operations? Kasi hindi naman natin, it's inevitable for people to mine these ores because those are resources. We need those resources. What we can do is to provide them sustainable mining operation or sustainable plans or techniques, no, para ma-minimize yung impact noon sa ating environment, no. Next, number 1, lower impact mining techniques. So traditional mining techniques can have severe impact on the environment and some popular methods like open pit and underground mining. So by instead using new alternative low impact mining techniques like in situ leaching, sama sa exam yan, mining companies can reduce their environmental impact. So dito nag-shift tayo. No, nagkakaroon tayo ng shift from open pit and underground mining to in situ leaching, which is less impactful doon sa ating environment, no? Although same lang naman yung kanyang end goal, which is to extract minerals or ore. With many of these techniques, companies can significantly reduce surface disturbance at mining techniques. Yan. So, lower surface disturbance, no? Lower soil erosion, and move less material that would need backfilled. Lowering interference in this way can both reduce environmental impact. Yeah, so that's the goal, reduce environmental impact, and result in less work when preparing a site for quicker revegetation or rehabilitation. So, mas marami siyang advantages, no, than the disadvantages. Yeah, this is the example, no, ng in situ leaching. Monitor wells from land to and observe na lang siya. Hindi naman niya kasama sa exam. But still, you need to see kung ano ba yung tsura niya. No? Next, reusing mining waste. Waste water treatment facility. This could tremendously reduce water use from natural resources and increase saving from cost of water withdrawal. So basically dito, recycling lang, reusing of wastewater. No? Kung ano yung ginamit from the mining operation from this day, i-recycle lang natin siya. Gagawan lang natin ng wastewater treatment para magamit ulit. This can save cost and also can save our water sources or natural resources. No? Clean water. Ganyan. So, kung pwede namang gamitin ulit, ba't hindi? Diba? Next, eco-friendly equipment. Battery-driven mining equipment is often powerful enough to replace diesel-driven operation. So, replacing diesel engines with electric engines where possible can significantly reduce the amount of carbon dioxide produced by mining operations. So here, nagkakaroon tayo ng eco-friendly transition, no? Dito, kino-consider na natin yung carbon footprint natin. So replacing diesel-driven machineries into battery-driven machineries, for example, electric engines, ganyan, this can significantly improve and reduce the production of carbon dioxide, which is harmful for the atmosphere and also the environment, So simple switches, for example, like adopting tires that provide better longevity and higher ROI in rock-strewn environment can cut down on equipment costs over time while also reducing how much rubber and plastic and mining operation output. So basically dito, parang ano siya, is quality over quantity. No? Better quality, better life, reduce consumption doon sa ating mga natural resources. No? Yan, transformer. Next, we have rehabilitating mining sites. So many modern mining techniques cause significant disruption to the environment, like stripping and topsoil layer, necessary for plant growth and raising soil and water acidity, making the area inhospitable to a new vegetation and leaving it prone to soil erosion. So basically, yung stripping and the topsoil layer is like part to ng uh, mining technique, diba, na discuss natin last time. So, sa mining technique na yon, after that mining technique, ang nangyayari dun sa soil quality is hindi na siya nagiging favorable for crop production, no? So, it's possible to use biosolids to replenish depleted topsoil. Soil with biosolids, if seeded and watered, can produce vegetation capable of preventing further soil erosion within as few as 12 weeks. Combined with other rehabilitative techniques like the use of waste rock to fill in excavated areas, it's possible to significantly reduce the disruption caused by mining. So basically dito parang kung ano yung nasira doon sa stripping of topsoil layer, nagkakaroon tayo dito ng paggamot, rehabilitate, no? Yan. So, yan, vegetation. Ano yan? Anong gulay yun? Para siyang ano? Anyway, shutting down illegal mining. So, preventing illegal or unregulated mining operations can help ensure that all mining is bound by the same environmental standards and ensure accountability. So, ayun nga, katulad nga sinasabi natin, like from the previous discussion, proper documentation, proper process, no? With the paperwork when it comes to mining operation is needed and required, no? So, basically dito nagre-rely na lang tayo dito sa DNR, no? Kasi sila lang naman yung may right, no? Para i-allow yung mining operation to occur dun sa isang location. So, dito ang kalaban lang natin is yung corruption talaga. No? Kasi even without proper paperwork, if kakilala ng mga mining companies yung nandito sa DNR, binibigyan sila ng permit to operate. No? Even though ang destruction sa environment is much higher than the advantages or yung marireceive na result or yung positive impact nun sa community. No? That's your knowledge. So, remember nyo lang yung mga discuss natin kanina, yung mnemonics natin, yung mga sustainable development. Yan, isang ito yan. Konting items lang. Next, sustainable energy. So, sustainable energy comes from resources that can serve the needs of the present without jeopardizing the needs of the other communities or future users. So basically, ito yung discuss natin yung sa conservation of energy natin or yung sa sources, yung report nyo or yung ginawa nyo sa pamphlet nyo, yung solar power, yung geothermal, those are sustainable sources of energy. Because dito, ginagamit lang natin is yung non-renewable renewable resources. Like for example, yung solar energy, na-harness natin yun, no? Yung wind energy, etc. Sustainable energy. ito yun. So, we have solar, wind, no? Hydro, ito nuclear. I think nuclear ito, at geothermal. So, sustainable energy, environmental impact, and management strategy. So, for fossil fuels, non-renewable energy, ang environmental impact nito kapag ginamit natin is yung carbon emission. No, kasi bine-burn down natin itong fossil fuel. So, of course, kapag merong fire, merong usok. And that usok is carbon emission. So, for management strategies na pwede natin gawin doon is develop and use technology to reduce carbon content of fossil fuel before combustion. Okay? So, use natural gas instead of coal as this has lower carbon content. So, dito nagbigay tayo ng alternative. No? Substitution. So, next, surface disturbance and erosion. Avoid unstable slope that can cause instability. If feasible, use special construction techniques in areas of steep slopes or soil prone to erosion. So, if access roads needs to be created, developed, and follow a natural topography of the land, yan. So, basically dito, ang sinasabi natin dito is reduce the erosion. For example, ito, yung if access roads needs to be created, develop, and follow the natural topography of land. Example nito is yung good example nito is yung pagpapatag ng mga bundok. Sustainable ba yun? Magandang way ba yun to create access road? Hindi. Kasi dito sa Bataan, no, kung mapapansin nyo, lalo din sa highway natin, parang taas-baba siya. Kasi basically, yung daanan na yun is bundok na pinatag para gawing daan. No? So, effective management strategies daw to reduce surface erosion and disturbance. Follow the natural topography of land. Ibig sabihin, yung mga patag na daanan, ay na lang yung sundan when creating access road. Next, clean and maintain catch basins, drainage ditches, and culverts regularly. Yeah. Next, under geothermal energy, we have dust pollution. No? Yung mga usok yan. Yan, mga dust, yung mga usok-usok. So, cover all open areas doon sa factory yan, no? To reduce dust pollution. So, vegetate most of the open grounds to avoid erosion and dispersion of dust particles in the air. Okay, next, noise pollution. So, locate all noise equipment and facilities as far as possible from nearby residences and other sensitive receptors. So, ilayo natin yung mga possible na mag-cause ng noise. No? Install or use low noise systems such as ventilation system, pumps, generators, compressors, and fans. Yan. So, operate noise equipment during daytime only. Kasi, syempre, pag gabi nga naman, pag ginamit yung noise equipment, nakaka-disturb yun sa community, especially pag malapit yung geothermal plant. No, doon sa isang community. So, operate noise equipment during daytime only kasi dito, gusto na may mga tao, wala namang mga bala. Next, hydroelectric power. So, environmental impact, alteration of natural river flow patterns, stressing fish and other aquatic organisms. So, for the strategy, management strategy, create fish passage that direct organisms away from turbines and other intricate systems of power plant. Next, changes in water quality that may be harmful to organisms. So, another impact yun ng hydroelectric power kapag pinaprocess, no? So, install aeration system in dam to control or regulate temperature and oxygen levels. So, in this case, para hindi maapektuhan yung mga aquatic animals natin, aquatic plants near the hydroelectric power plant. No? So, silt can be captured by small-scale weirs or dislikes that can be dredged. Create a flood bypass that channels flood waters away from the dam. Yeah. So next we have water conservation practices. What are these? Water conservation practices. Okay. So efforts to reduce water consumptions are now being taught and practiced in many schools and establishments. For point A, domestic use. So regular checking of leaks in processed water pipes to prevent water wastage. So, sa mga bahay-bahay, di ba, kapag merong mga leak yung faucet nyo, yung mga tubo, inaayos siya, di ba? Finifix natin. No, kasi syempre, nag-waste tayo doon ng clean water and also tumataas yung bills nyo. Next, watering plants in the garden, suggesting watering can be done in the early morning rather than midday. No, kasi mas mataas yung absorption ng plant during early in the morning. Kaya nga nagdidilig sila early in the morning. No? Pwede rin dito in watering plants garden, pwede yung mga water na lang sa drainage instead of using water from the faucets, no? Para ipandilig yung mga clean water. Pwede rin naman yung water doon sa mga kanal, ganyan. Malinis, syempre. Next, rainwater may also be collected and stored in mosquito-proof containers instead of just allowing it to be drained into canal. Okay, itong rainwater collection, in some other parts of the world, for example, in America, in Europe, no, hindi sila allowed mag-collect ng rainwater. I don't know what the reason is or what's the reason behind that. Pero parang kasi siya, illegal para mag-collect ka ng rain. Siguro, kasi kapag nagko-collect ka ng rain, bumababa yung return, no, ng rainwater or ng water during the water cycle doon sa different locations, no? Especially kapag nag-collect ka ng rainwater for your use, pwede rin sabihin natin na harmful yung rainwater, especially during this age and during this day, no, na puro chemicals na lang yung, or hindi na clean na paliguan, kumbaga yung rainwater. Although may mga water treatments naman tayo na pwedeng i-apply sa rainwater para makonsume siya, still, no, sa ibang bansa, hindi illegal siya. Pero sa atin, kahit naman kolektahin mo yung rainwater, wala namang problem. And usually nga, yung mga collected rainwater is ginagamit talaga pang dilig, no? Or pang linis. Next, municipality or city use. The use watershed in each community. It is an area of land where all water being collected comes from various sources, and all the water that falls in or drains off, it flows into the same place. Dams and reservoirs work because of watershed. Ito yung example. So, laman ang watershed, ayan yung nagko-collect ng mga rainwater. Parang dami siya. Ito naman rain barrel, rainwater collection yan. Pwedeng pandilig, ganyan. Next, soil conservation practices for agricultural use. Okay, so enhance organic matter contents of soil. Organic matter consists of crop residues, manure, or compost. Basically, pinapataba lang natin yung lupa dito. Nag-enhance tayo ng nutrients. So, organic matter develops soil structure, improves water and nutrient holding capacity of the soil, and protects the soil against erosion and compaction. Yeah. Next, avoid excessive tillage. Tilling helps loosening surface soil, but too much of it can break up soil structure and speed up the decomposition and loss of organic matter. Ito yung katulad ng in-explain natin last time. Yung through preparation of arable land, yung pa nagpe-prepare tayo ng land for crop production, no, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng excessive tillage, nagkakaroon tayo ng loss ng organic matter doon sa land, no? And the loss of organic matter can lead to loosening of surface soil, and breakup of structure, and also yung mga nutrients din sa soil na babawasan. Next, apply proper pest management. Pesticides have been proven to affect non-target organisms and pollute the soil and water system. So, yung pag-use ng commercially sold pesticide is not recommended kasi those pesticides can affect non-targeted organisms, and also it can pollute the soil. It can erode or reduce the quality of the soil and also the water system. Kaya it's highly encouraged for us to use organic fertilizers or organic pesticides when we are doing pest management. So, dito yun. For example, ito, gumagamit tayo ng bulate, no? Vermicompost or vermicomposting yung tawag dyan. So, pinapataba ng mga poop, no? Ng manure nung uod, yung land or yung quality of soil, no? Ito naman, ito ginagamit naman to talaga kapag nagtatanim sa bukid, no? Gumagamit tayo dyan ng fertilizer para patayin yung weed, para walang competition yung ating palay, no? Or yung ating rice field. Here naman, ito yung sa tillage, no? Ang ginagawa dito is pinaprepare na yung land for crop production. Pero kung mapapansin nyo dito, nabawasan yung organic matter natin, nangamatay. No? So excessive tillage, ibig sabihin kapag hindi tayo nagka-crop rotation, magkakaroon yun ng soil degradation or loss of nutrients in the soil. Mas bumababa yung crop production. No? Next, prevent soil compaction. Soil compaction occurs when soil particles are passed together and there is reduced pore space between soil particles. The compacted soil reduces the rate of water filtration and drainage, slows down the exchange of gases, and strengthens plant roots to penetrate the compacted soil. Thus, compacted soil does not promote healthy farming. Yeah. Next, mounting a ground cover. Bare soil is susceptible to wind, water, and other agents of erosion, so it's best to cover open soil with dry leaves and crop residue. Collectively transferred, referred to as mulch. This does not only prevent soil erosion but also retains water in soil, bringing back nutrients to soil. Kasi kapag na-decompose na yung mga dried leaves na to, it can turn into fertilizers, natural fertilizers. Also serves as a good habitat for organisms. It's a way to increase water retention. So, ito yung example niya, non-compacted soil. Kapag non-compacted soil, mas mahaba yung roots ng plant, mas gaganda yung crop production. Kasi mas marami kang nare-reach na nutrients compared here sa compacted soil. Sa compacted soil, yung makikita nyo dyan, sobrang compressed ng mga soil natin, nagiging hirap mag-penetrate yung roots ng plant, which results into lower crop production or mas maliit na mga crops. Yan. Nagapante. Next, proper waste disposal and management. It's actually your action plan. No? Proper waste disposal and management. So solid waste, segregation solid waste can be grouped based on their ability to decompose. Sinasegregate natin yung basura, even in our community, before mag-garbage collection, nagkakaroon muna tayo ng segregation, no? So, yung mga hindi segregated na waste, hindi kinakolekta ng mga garbage collectors. Next, 3 R's, recycling, reuse, reduction. Gumamit tayo ng 3 R's, recycling, reuse, reduction, or yun. Next, compost. Composting, no? Ito yung pag-prepare natin from the different waste, no, that can be still used as fertilizer. Mga organic waste to, no? Mixture of organic waste that is combined with soil. Ito yung mga nilalagay na pataba, no, doon sa ating mga plants. Next, sanitary landfill. So, in the final disposal site of all waste that were not removed from segregation and sorting. So, yung mga solid waste na hindi na segregate, dito tinatapon. Mga sanitary landfill. Kaya kung mapupunta kayo sa landfill, makita nyo na halo-halo na yung basura doon. Next, liquid waste. Sewage treatment plan. A. Primary sewage treatment. A physical treatment where solid particles separate from liquid through large screen. Parang ano siya, sinasala lang ito. No? So, inihiwalay natin yung solid from the liquid. Filtration and sedimentation. Yan. Next, secondary sewage treatment. To reduce the amount of organic load through aeration. So, ito yan. So, ito, makita nyo yung 3 R's natin. Kasi ito naman yung mga landfills natin sa taas. And ito sa baba is yung composting natin. So, mabaho yan pag na-decompose yan. Kaya usually ginagawa yan sa suhay, nung hindi naka-expose sa ganyan. Okay, gaseous waste naman tayo. So, urban development has increased the production of waste even in gaseous form. So, basically, ito yung mga carbon emissions natin, ito yung mga greenhouse gases na iniinit natin through the usage of different natural resources. Ito yung byproduct. So, number one, conserve energy. Kapag nag-conserve tayo ng energy, mako-conserve or mababawasan din yung consumption. Therefore, mababawasan yung production of pollutants. No? Next, avoid burning. Although it's a cultural practice na dito sa Philippines to burn leaves no, in the backyard kasi nga nagdadapog, ganyan. Pampaganda daw ng yield ng mga puno, ganyan. It's not a good practice kasi nagpo-promote ito ng production of greenhouse gases that can affect the atmosphere and destroy the ozone layer. Especially with the burning of plastics, no? It's not allowed, no? Pinagbabawal yan sa batas yung pagsusunog kasi nga nakakadagdag siya. Next, use of water-based sprays or solvent-free paints. Advocate for emission reduction in factories and for more stringent implementation of emission standards. So basically dito kasi yung mga ginagamit natin na solvent na yung mga spray paints that can also affect the quality of the ozone layer. Kasi nagre-release tayo din ng yung mga aerosols, nagre-release yan ng mga air pollutants din. No? So ito yan, no? Conservation, ito avoid burning of ano man yung sinusunog nyo. No? Ito rin yung mga spray paints natin. Use water-based or solvent-free. Do you have any questions? If may questions, PM na lang. No? If wala, mas maganda. Yan lang. So, that ends our presentation. So, good luck with your midterm exam. No? And I hope na magkita-kita tayo sa DRRR for the second sem. And also for the finals din. And good luck with your action plan. No, consultation tayo with the action plan.